Hello, everybody. I'm Sean Kelley, the voice of the Gators, and welcome to the Gator Tales podcast with Sean Kelley. This is episode number 56. Happy New Year to you and yours. I hope you all had a great holiday season, and we're off and running here in 2026. That means the winter sports here at UF are also in full swing, too. My day-to-day, of course, involves Gators men's basketball, who's now 10-5 overall and 1-1 in Southeastern Conference play. Getting ready for a big home game this weekend against ranked Tennessee, and then on the road next week at Oklahoma and at red-hot Vanderbilt. Meanwhile, as I mentioned, so many other sports are going on right now, and yes, I've got my eyes on everybody. In particular this week, though, Gators gymnastics. They open their season with a quad meet this weekend at the O-Dome with a 7 o'clock start scheduled on Friday night. One of the big stories this year with Gators gymnastics is the return of Kayla DiCello. The junior from Boyd's, Maryland, hasn't seen action since her freshman year. She was all SEC, all freshman, and helped the Gators get to the brink of a national championship. Kayla, who also is an elite gymnast on the international stage, a member of Team USA as an alternate, went to the Olympics trials, but was injured on day one of competition. A ruptured Achilles tendon stopped her in her tracks. Surgery was to come next, and to follow that, surgery on her other Achilles tendon because it could become a problem too. The bottom line is this: she's been out of action now for almost 2.5 years. She'll make her return this week as a part of a powerful lineup under head coach Jenny Rowland. She's our guest this week on the Gator Tales podcast. She's our only guest. It's a fascinating story about her injury, where she was in her career when it happened, her process, and now the return after just a hair over 1,000 days from her last competition. Kayla DiCello, our guest this week on the Gator Tales podcast with Sean Kelley. The Gator Tales podcast with Sean Kelley is presented by UF Health. UF Health has locations throughout Florida, including Gainesville, Jacksonville, St. Augustine, Leesburg, and the Villages, and we're growing. Compassionate care and world-class outcomes. That's our game plan. Visit ufhealth.org to learn more. And now, the podcast designed specifically for the congregation. Kayla is back. That's the headline over here at the Gators Gymnastics facility. Kayla, are you okay with that headline?
Yeah, I am.
Are you excited in some ways?
I am really excited. It's been a long 1.5 years since first getting injured, and it's been a while since I've competed in college, and so I'm excited. I'm ready to take everything in and just be here, be in the moment.
Let's be really precise. On Friday, when the Gators open the season, it'll have been 1,001 days since you last competed collegiately. That number is striking and almost seems to put a round thing on a long journey for you.
Yeah, I mean, that is a very huge number. And I mean, I'm just really grateful that I'm going to be able to be back out on the floor on Friday, be there with my team, be able to compete, and I'm just really excited.
You all seem collectively in a place where you just missed a national championship, and then you get ready for the Olympics. The injury happens. How many times do you go back to that day where the injury happened?
I mean, I would say at the beginning I went back pretty recently, just trying to wrap my head around it. And I mean, there are definitely days where I go back and I think about it, but recently, the more I've looked back on it, I've just seen how much I've grown from the injury and just seen how much I've progressed, with getting myself back, getting myself stronger, but also with things outside of the gym, spending more time on my friends and family, just being able to do all the little things that I couldn't do before because I was so focused on gymnastics.
There's been a little bit of talk about that process, and I want to dig in on a couple of different aspects of it. Let's start with athletically. Is it possible that you would be a better athlete because of the injury?
I guess you could say that, because it kind of just shows you a lot just by being able to take a step back from gymnastics and just look at it from kind of just like an outsider's perspective, because you're not able to do everything. And it just gave me more, just made me feel more grateful to be able to do it once I started again, because I mean, a year and a half, like that's a while. And just after doing it every single day, my entire life basically, and just like getting to stop and just go back into it, it just makes me very appreciative for everything that I get to do that day, whether it's a lot or a little bit.
On the personal side, it sounds like there were positives. Like you found out there are other things in life other than gymnastics. Like what?
I mean, I got to spend a lot more time with my family just in general. I mean, I was always either at school or at the gym. So, I mean, like after the injury, I was home and my whole family was home for like the rest of the summer, which was really nice. So we got to take family vacations together. I got to go with the Gators to the Dominican and do a service trip, which I probably wouldn't have been able to do if it weren't for this injury, because I would have most likely been training in the summer. So they're really just focusing on that. So it just like opened up a lot more areas of like my own personal life that I got to explore.
What holidays did you get to celebrate that you had never got to really enjoy before?
Honestly, really just the summer.
Just the summer.
Yeah.
When we talk about the mental side of this, how complicated was it for you? And where did you find strength? Where did you find help?
The mental side was probably the one that took the longest. I had a lot of support from my friends and my family. And so like that was like one of the biggest things. Another thing is like I started growing more in my faith too. And that was like something that helped me out a lot and kind of just really helped me with my perspective on this injury, and just like that if it weren't for it, like all these other things that I've been able to do wouldn't have happened, and just being grateful for like where I am right now. It's definitely hard sometimes because like I'll look back on it and just like think about like what if this didn't happen, where would I be now? But also like, I mean, I'm grateful for where I am, and like looking back now, like I wouldn't change a thing, like even though it was very unfortunate of the timing and everything, but I wouldn't change it.
Kayla, the spiritual side, was it newfound faith, or was it a faith that you already had that you leaned on more?
It was a faith that I had, but it was something that kind of just like grew even more from there. Like I think I was into my faith, but I didn't take it seriously until after this injury, and that was like kind of the starting point from it. And so I was able to just like grow, learn more, and I think now like whenever I'm having a hard time, like it's easier for me to lean on my faith now.
I think when I was your age, and that was a long time ago, I felt invincible, and I never thought that mental health was a thing. Do you think that you've learned more about that? And is that something that maybe most of your age group, like me back when, doesn't recognize?
Yeah, it definitely has like made me look more about my mental health. I think I've always paid attention to it, even when growing up in the gym and everything. And I just think it's great just being able to like have somebody or something as like an outlet so that you can like let it go. I journal a lot, and so like that helps me, because sometimes if I don't feel like talking to anybody, I will just write it out, but it's still like a way for me to get it out of my body, get it out of my head, and then I can like look at it, read it over as many times as I want, and just like see what I can like change, or just like see how little it is really in like a big world. Like yeah.
Interesting. You go back and you read your journal entries.
I do, yeah.
What was the last one you read?
I don't know. I think the last time I like looked through them all, I think I just look at it just to see how much I've grown from that day, and just see like how I was feeling and just how I am now, and just like looking back on like whatever happened, or I mean even the good things that I write, like just seeing all the little accomplishments that I've done.
Sounds like you enjoy the going back and looking.
Yeah, I mean, it is good because I just like, it helps me just like see just how far I've come.
When we look at now this new season, 100% feel like you used to? What ways do you feel different?
Yeah, so it has definitely been a while. It's been a long process. I am back training all 4 events, and I'm really excited for that. And so, I just forgot half the question. I'm sorry.
It's okay. No, just basically, I'm curious as to how maybe you're different than you were 2 years ago, in a sense here. Maybe, longer than that, 2.5. I remember you as all-around star, but man, when it comes to uneven bars, who's going to touch Kayla? Is that still the case? Are you able to compete starting here this weekend in all 4 events in the way that you would like to, or is there still more that needs to be done there?
Okay. All 4 events, that is my goal. This first week, I'm just planning to do vault bars and beam. Just take it easy on floor. That'll probably be my last event that I fully will put back in. I just want to make sure that I'm good going into this year, because it is a long season, 15 weeks, and my goal is really just to be ready by the end of season, make sure my body is strong, make sure I'm healthy, and yeah, bars is still my favorite event.
I kind of figured as much. I love this team, and some of it has to do with your return. It's Sky too. It's some newcomers as well. Will you share with me kind of your thoughts of what makes this particular team unique?
This team is so special, and I just think that after we finished season last year, we were all very disappointed. All of the returners were very disappointed. That was a feeling we never wanted to feel again. And so, immediately after that, we kind of all got together and started talking about what we wanted to change, what we needed to change, and just make sure that we were all on the same page. So as soon as we got back here, we took a week, figured it out, and we wanted to create a foundation so that when the freshmen come in, it was already set, so that they didn't have a hard time, and it was just kind of just something that we were used to and they could come in and jump right into. And so I think we did a great job with that, and just our connection, everything already is 10 times better than it was before. So it just makes me really happy just to be a part of a team that all gets along, and we all just enjoy each other and just are so uplifting in the gym.
Why is that so important? I mean, this is a sport that it's a team sport, which I love that about college gymnastics, but at its core, it's still an individual thing. So why does something like that matter so much?
Gymnastics is definitely a team sport because we need each other. Every single person on the team has a role, no matter what it is, and it's very important. And it's if I'm up on the beam and I don't feel the trust from my teammates, it's very hard, because then I'm putting all this pressure on myself, and just we need each other, and it's really good to have a connection, because if something were to go wrong, you would be able to have all your trust in the next person to be able to have your back. And so I think that is really important. Even though technically it might look like an individual sport, it is 100% a team sport.
So yeah, I learned something today. In some ways too, in just a few gymnasts that I've been able to speak to, the difference between elite or the track toward Olympic and international competition, the cutthroat nature of it is something to behold. But yet college gymnastics, I don't know. Is it as cutthroat, or is it more enjoyable because of the team aspect that you're talking about? Help me understand the difference between those two.
I think that college gymnastics is more fun, because I think it's just you get to know your teammates on a much more personal level, and just even when you go into every arena, they're always packed, and it's always so exciting, and just that added, whether you're home or away, the added crowd noise helps you no matter what. And so I just think it's a lot easier in college. Yeah.
That leads me to ask you about this thing I keep hearing about, the promise. Mm-hmm. What is the promise?
So the promise is the standard that we live by, and just every day we are here, take ourselves and hold ourselves responsible for just our actions in and out of the gym, so that we all stay together, and we hold ourselves to the standard that we want for each other. And pretty much just that was just our thing for coming into this year, so that we had a baseline of where we wanted to go, and we continue to grow from there, and just like we are a team and we're doing this all together.
Who came up with this, and is it on paper somewhere? Is there a sign, or is it just the spoken thing amongst you and your teammates?
So I'd say Skylar came up with it.
Okay.
She was doing a lot of stuff after nationals and came across the video of Tim Tebow, and so we had like a returner group team meeting and we just discussed it, and so we came up with like this document of just like what we wanted for this season. And so we do talk about it, but then also we have it on like a little sign right in the doors right before you enter the gym, so you see it as you're walking in.
Does it just say the promise, or is there wording to that?
There is wording to it.
This almost seems like a secret society type thing. You're not going to tell me anything more than that, are you?
I can, but I just don't know it off the top of my head.
Honesty is the best policy.
I know bits and pieces of it, but I just don't know the whole thing off the top of my head.
But it's something that you all subscribe to, obviously, and you're all in on that. Should there be a T-shirt?
Honestly, I think we are kind of making some sort of something.
Okay.
In the future, we're working on it. Yeah, it's in the works.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
The injury happened while you were getting ready to make another USA team. Do you want to do it again? The Olympics is in Los Angeles in 2028. Have you thought about it a little bit?
I've definitely thought about it. I think as of right now, I haven't made any decisions. I think I just want to get back into college, compete this season, go from there, and just see how I am.
Fair enough. I think maybe you've learned a little perspective along the way here, or at least maybe staying in the moment a little bit more.
Yes, I have. That was one of the biggest things that I worked on.
One of the things that'll be different as opposed to the last 2 years is that you'll be doing gymnastics, as you mentioned earlier, in front of big buildings, large crowds. Nervous about that or eager to get to that?
I'm actually very eager to do that because I am someone who loves like that environment. I love the pressure. I love being like in front of people when I'm competing. I think that's where I feel most confident. Yeah. And so, yeah, I think that is just, I'm like very excited. You
should also be excited that maybe there'll be another DiCello in the building this weekend. Your sister, amongst other sisters that compete, will finally be on the same floor as you.
I know, yes. I'm so excited for that. We went to West Virginia last year, but I wasn't able to do anything since I was hurt. So this will be like the first time we're competing together again since we were back at Hills.
Yeah. Carly, right?
Yes.
So she's a gymnast at West Virginia. Then the other sister, what? She's going to be an SEC gymnast here soon too, won't she?
Yeah, she'll be at Kentucky in the 2028 season.
This is dominant for you guys. Were mom and dad gymnasts? Where did this all come from?
I have no idea. They did not do gymnastics,
really?
But they were very athletic when they were growing up. So,
how did they learn how to be gymnastics parents?
I think they put my brother in a birthday party at the gym that we grew up in, and then they just stuck us in while we were in there. And I mean, I started with a mommy and me class, and then they were like, oh, like you should put her in team and do this other class. My mom almost didn't do that because it was the same time as my naps, and I liked my naps when I was little. So so like that's how it started, and then it kind of just, they put me in, then they put my other sisters in right after.
So the brother started it.
I guess, yeah, you could say that.
What's the brother doing now?
So Hunter is my brother. He's 2 years older than me, and he just graduated from Maryland.
As a gymnast?
No.
See, I knew that's where we're going with this. What did he end up doing? After he leads you all into this world, what did he end up doing?
So he grew up playing baseball up until high school, went to Alabama for his undergrad, graduated from there, went to Maryland for his master's, and he has a job, actually, I think so.
You think?
I don't know what it's called. He does. No, he does have a job. He does.
This is a good thing. Mom will be happy. Dad will be happy.
Yes.
There's that Gator chomp that finds its way into all the floor routines. Have you lined that out yet? I know that's the last thing you're kind of polishing up here before the season starts. And I know Gators fans love to figure out when that chomp's going to be. Anything you want to share about that?
So I do have my Gator chomp. It's at the end. So everyone can be ready for that. But like my floor is good. It is coming along, and whenever the time is, like I will be ready.
Congratulations on this journey, this part of your life. I'm looking forward to seeing what's next with you.
Thank you.
I know you'll join me in rooting on Kayla and, of course, the Gators as they begin their season. They are ranked in the top 3 preseason poll for women's gymnastics. Big thank you to Kayla and, of course, Mary Howard, too, who handles PR for Gators Gymnastics. We'll look for an upcoming visit from Jenny Rowland on Gator Talk across the Gator Sports Network as we get into our spring schedule this week as well. Super big thanks to our sponsor, UF Health. Without them, this podcast would not be possible. And thanks to you for joining us as well. Enjoy the upcoming games and meets in this case. I'm Sean Kelley. Until next time, so long for just a while. And as always, go Gators.